Hi, I'm Jen. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. Today I am giving some health updates on a couple videos that I made previously. And yes, I am in my car because I am on my way to an appointment regarding one of those. The first one is an update on my weight loss journey using Ozempic. I started back in February, made a video about that. I'll get Office Jen to put some links up on the screen and in the description for you if you want to look at those after you've watched this. But a couple months ago, I made a video just basically saying that I was plateaued with my weight loss. I hadn't lost anything in about 2 months. And I was chalking that one up to me and the fact that I had been anxious and stressed over, well, world affairs, let's say. And so I was less anxious and stressed now, and I had bumped up my Ozempic dosage and was optimistic about continuing with the weight loss. Well, here we are 2 months later, and I've only lost 3 pounds in the last 2 months. Frustrating? Yes. I don't think it's me. I really think that I have plateaued with Ozempic. And so my prescription was coming up for renewal, and I went into the doctor and talked to her about this and sort of said, you know, I'm not really losing weight anymore. And she said it happens, and that if I'm plateaued using Ozempic, then I may want to consider switching to another weight loss drug that's more specifically for weight loss, but also helps with type 2 diabetes, which I have. And it has a different ingredient. So Ozempic is a GLP-1 inhibitor, I guess. And the one that she suggested, which is Zepbound, uses tirzepatide, I believe. Anyhow, she suggested that, and I decided that I would stick with Ozempic for this round. And so I got the Ozempic renewed, and I'm still taking it at the maximum dose for Ozempic. And the reason that I decided to stick with Ozempic is because I live in British Columbia, Canada. So we have universal health care, but not universal pharmacare. So prescriptions, you need a third-party supplemental health insurer to help pay for that. And in British Columbia, we've also got a provincial pharmacare plan, which does help out with prescriptions. So yay. But getting the two, the provincial pharmacare plan plus my supplemental health insurer that I get through my employer, getting those two to work together to pay, you know, each pay their share on the Ozempic has taken a lot of red tape and me jumping through hoops and hours-long conversations, frustrating conversations on the phone. But eventually I did it, and they are now working together. So before, when I started the Ozempic, I was paying $100 a month for the amount of Ozempic that I needed, which was way less than, you know, me just paying for everything myself, but also it was $100 a month. It would be nice to get rid of that. And that's why I started doing the jumping through hoops and managed to get it down so that now I'm paying nothing. I pay nothing, some combination between the pharmacare plan provincially plus my third-party healthcare insurance. They are covering everything. And I only just got them to work together. So the whole switching to a new drug, I'm sure that it would be covered by both pharmacare and by my supplemental health insurance. But I didn't, I need to check that out first. And part B, should I even switch? Like, I don't know anything about this Zepbound. So that's why I continued on with Ozempic for another round of prescriptions. I think it's good until October, so for 3 months. I can deal with that. In the meantime, what I have to do is contact a family member of mine who is a PharmD, a doctor of pharmacy, and discuss with him what this Zepbound is and what the side effects would be and blah, 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 and whether it's better than Ozempic. And also figure out whether my pharmacare and supplemental health insurance are going to work together nicely to cover Zepbound if that's my decision. So I did. I called my family member and we had a good discussion about Zepbound, and he said that it's a good option if I have plateaued with Ozempic. And this is not medical advice from me or my family member to anyone but me. He is a healthcare professional who, gave me his professional opinion on a drug. That's it. So he said Zepbound was good, and it may be better for me because it can come in higher doses than Ozempic if I'm plateauing with Ozempic. Cool. And looking up all of the requirements for Zepbound with both pharmacare provincially and with my supplemental health insurer, they will cover it. So that is, I think, going to be my path going forward after my Ozempic current prescription runs out. I will have Office Jen put up a picture of me minus 3 pounds so that you guys can see the continued journey. But that's where things lie right now, is that, yeah, I think that I've peaked out on Ozempic and it's plateauing. I can't lose any more weight, it seems. And so I'm going to switch to Zepbound next. Now, part 2 of the health update is regarding a small issue I had with skin cancer. It started with a little sunspot below my left eye, which got caught at a routine exam with my doctor just at an urgent care clinic. And he took a biopsy and sent it off to be looked at because the little sunspot was an odd shape and it was growing and it worried me. So we got that back and it was benign, yay. But the little sunspot is an irregular configuration, and so it needs to be watched. I can do that. But in the course of me waiting for the biopsy to get back, I went into the Victoria Skin Cancer Clinic and did a mole mapping of my full body, where they take high-res photos of you naked and and all of your blemishes, moles, freckles, what have you. And then, in subsequent years, you can compare the original photographs to what your blemishes look like in the present. So did that. I had to pay out of pocket for that, $350. Ouch. But I figured that it was worth it because I am a very fair-skinned person and I am covered in moles. Not gonna lie. So got that done, and while there, the skin cancer doctor also checked me over completely, and he discovered a blemish, which he diagnosed as basal cell carcinoma, which sounds very scary and scared me. He says that it's very common, but it does need to be removed. And that is where I am off to today. Back to the Victoria Skin Cancer Clinic to have my basal cell carcinoma removed. And hopefully that will be the end of it. And I will have him check my little sunspot as well. I brought the biopsy results to show him, and maybe if he feels like it, or if I can convince him, he might take care of the little sunspot too, just so I don't have to watch it. We will see. But more on that once I get to the clinic. I have like a full-on commute today. I had to take today off work because the skin cancer clinic is way far away from me, and it's like a full commute getting there. I'll talk to you once I get to the clinic. Okay, change of plans. I couldn't take any video while inside the skin cancer clinic. I mean, there were other patients in there, and I guess there's confidentiality, etc., etc. So it's done. It only took like 10 minutes, but he cut out quite a large chunk. I got before and after photos. Office Jen can put them up there. And I have several stitches, which come out in 2 weeks, which is good. I was thinking, oh gosh, it'll come very close to my epic adventure 60th birthday trip, which is in a month. But the stitches will be out and I will be good to go in 2 weeks, which is great. And I guess he's sending off the chunk that he cut out. It was a chunk, to be biopsied or to be examined, and they will let me know the results. But he took out a chunk, a big chunk. And honestly, the needles, he put in a freezing agent with a needle. That was the most painful thing, was the needle to put in the freezing agent. I was gripping the sides of the bed thing, the place where you lay down. That hurt. But after that, despite the size of the chunk he took out, I really can't believe how big that was. He took it right out and there was no feeling whatsoever, so it was all good. I'm certain once the freezing wears off, I'll be hurting in the leg, but all done. So that is going to be the end of my health update. Oh, wait. I asked him about my sunspot and whether, he could take that out while he's at it. And he said, no, it's just a sunspot. He's not worried. So didn't get that one removed, but he did remind me to wear sunscreen. And that is valuable advice, since the epic 60th birthday adventure, I will be going to a country where there is a lot of sun, and I plan to be outdoors a lot. So sunscreen, hat, long sleeves, SPF, all will come into play, and I'm going to make sure that I have the good stuff when I go. That is all done. All of the health updates are finished, and I hope everybody has a great day. Leave me comments about either Ozempic or Zepbound if anybody has any experience with them. I haven't had any really bad side effects with Ozempic other than a little bit of constipation. That's it. Zepbound, I guess, my family member who recommended it, who's the PharmD, he said that the side effects should be similar. But I'm okay with that as long as I lose weight. And if you've ever had the basal cell carcinoma, I hope that this is a one and done for me, and I will be much, much more careful with my skin in the sun and making sure that I'm covered up, and at least with sunscreen, if not with clothing. Anyhow, that's it for this week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.